I would say a typical day for me as a private client solicitor will be starting off with a coffee, and then I will catch up with my colleagues, and then it may be taking some initial inquiries, maybe going for an instruction meeting in relation to wills and lasting powers of attorney. And then it could be speaking to companies when I'm dealing with an administration of an estate. So it's very varied, which is what I love. I think people put off making a will simply because they do find it a little bit daunting. The reality is, by taking control and putting your affairs in order, putting a will in place, that you know that your wishes are going to be carried out at that time. I'd say false. Ultimately, as soon as you're an adult, you can make a will, and I think it's always good to put a will in place. We don't know what will happen in life, and by putting a will in place, then you know that your affairs are in order. That is true. You don't actually need a solicitor to write a will. However, we would sort of suggest it's always best to take legal advice. It's surprising to know how many homemade wills are not actually validly executed. So to be safe, get a solicitor to prepare your will for you. I would say false on that because, again, life circumstances, and we never know what things are going to happen. So we would normally say it's always good to reflect on your wishes. What you might have wanted 5-10 years ago, say, may not be the same now. So it's always good to reflect on your will wishes, see whether they still meet with your intentions, and if not, change your will. False. I would say that wills aren't just for distributing money. There are other things that you can put in a will. So, for example, you might have a family heirloom that you really want to make sure goes down to the next generation. And so putting that in the will sort of clearly states your intentions. And there could be other things like guardianship wishes for any minor children. So there's many things that can be put in a will outside of just where your money is to go. Now, I would say true and false. True in the sense that if you absolutely had no living surviving relatives, then yes, it could all go to the government, the Crown. But false in the sense that with the laws of intestacy, it goes to surviving relatives. Now, they might be, albeit very distant relatives, but once a relative is found, your estate would go to them. So this is another reason why we would say, don't leave it to chance. Put a will in place so you set out exactly who you'd want it to go to, rather than the laws of intestacy if you pass away without a will, and then it is the government's sort of rules as into where your assets would go.